Hey grade 7, welcome to this edition of Mr. V Teaches Math, and today we're looking at our last lesson in Chapter 1 in Unit 1. It's 1.17, it is Order of Operations. Our goal, there is just, I think there's just the one today, and it is to use the correct order of operations to evaluate expressions. And so we are going to get a chance to look at some problems having to do with order of operations. I'll tell you guys how to deal with them, how to answer questions where you need to use order of operations. So the problem that we're going to look at is the Reduce Impaired Driving Everywhere program. It's called the RIDE program. I'm sure you guys have all been in the car and have gone through a RIDE program, and whoever was driving was asked by the police if they have been drinking or not. But it's been around since 1977. 1 year, all the motorists who were stopped were given a booklet full of valuable coupons. One of the coupons was a ballot to enter a draw for a new car. Now, the form included the following statement. Before being declared a winner, the selected entrant must answer this skill testing question. And the question is 600 plus 3 times 20 plus 12 minus 2. Now, your inclination might just be to answer it from left to right. So 600 plus 3 is 603. And then 603 times 20 is 12,060. Plus 12 is 12,072. Minus 2 is 12,070. And you'd be wrong. Sorry, but you would. Mathematicians, in order so everyone gets the same answer, mathematicians have determined that there's this set of rules that you need to follow when you have different kinds of, they call them operations, but different kinds of things going on in a question, whether it be addition and subtraction and multiplication and division, or if you see like brackets around stuff, or there are rules that determine how you do those questions. So what we're going to do is we are going to go through and answer this question. But first we're going to look at some of these rules for order of operations. Now, to make sure that we get one correct answer for an expression, we use the following rules. And they're called the order of operations. Next unit, I'll give you the acronym that we'll look at a little bit more. I can give you the acronym now. I basically use two different ones. There's BEDMAS, or I also use one called PEMDAS, and they basically mean the same thing. I will explain next unit how to use those. But for our purposes today, here's the way it works. Order of operations, you have to do the calculations in the brackets first. You need to change the word of to, it says X, but that actually means a times symbol. Then once that stuff is done, then you divide and multiply in order from left to right. Just work on the problem from left to right. And then lastly, you add and subtract in order from left to right. And that's basically how you do order of operations. So if we use those rules, we see this question, 600 plus 3 times 20 plus 12 minus 2. There aren't any brackets. There is, there's no UBs in this question, but there is a multiplication, which means that we have to do that first. So we do 3 times 20 before we do anything else. And so the way we do this is I put an equal sign underneath my original question that I've written out, and 600 stays the same, the plus sign stays the same, 3 times 20 is 60, and then plus 12 minus 2. So that's what gets done. This is what gets done first. So the line gets a little bit shorter. Now, what we're left with is just addition and subtraction, which we can just do. Again, I put an equal sign directly underneath the other equal sign. I don't want them on an angle. I really want them straight up and down on the left-hand side like that, if we're doing questions like this. And for the grade 7s in my class, that's a requirement for any kind of quizzes that we do. That's one of the rules I ask you to follow. It makes it way easier for me to read the questions. It helps me understand that you know what needs to be done. Okay, so basically what we're doing, what we have left is just pluses and minuses, which we can just do from left to right. So 600 plus 60 is 660. Then we're going to add 12, which is 672, and then take away 2, which is 670. And that is the actual answer. Based on the rules that mathematicians have come up with, that is the answer using order of operations. We're going to move on and do just a couple of questions, a couple of practice questions. So you can see some with brackets or the word of. So here we have a problem. It's 15 divided by, and then in brackets, 7 minus 4, and then times 6. So, using the rules that I've come up with, I put an equal sign over here. The first thing that I'm going to be doing is the brackets, according to my order of operations. So 7 minus 4 is 3. So 15 stays the same, the divide sign stays the same, the 7 minus 4 gets done, and then the times 6 stays the same. The next thing that I do, all I have left now is divide and multiplication, so I just do it from left to right. So it's 15 divided by 3 first, and 15 divided by 3 is 5, and then I do my 5 times 6, which is 30. Again, all my equal signs are straight up and down in a row. I do pretty much one calculation per line, then I carry stuff down. So that times 6 gets down 3 times. Okay, I don't just leave it up here and then suddenly bring it back on the third line. I don't want you to do that. Okay. Here's our next problem. So we don't have any brackets, but we have this word of. So half of 8.4. So that basically means if you wanted to find half of something, you just divide it by 2. And so 8.4 divided by 2 is just 4.2. Okay, and then so I have plus 9.1 minus 3.6. So I do my addition and subtraction from left to right. 4.2 plus 9.1 is 13.3. Then I'm going to take away 3.6. So that's what I do next. And 13.3 take away 3.6 is 9.7. Again, all my equal signs are lined up, straight up and down. I do one calculation per line. Let's see something like this. The minus 3.6 gets carried down. Okay, even the plus 9.1 gets carried down. Okay, I don't just leave them hanging up in the top row to bring them back later. I bring them down with me from line to line after I've lined up all that stuff. Okay, so those are just a few examples of order of operations. You're going to get a chance to practice it tomorrow. And that's really all for tonight. So if you have any questions, talk to me tomorrow in class, guys. Have a great day. See you.